What's going on? Making $590 trading Walmart. Welcome on into the recap. So we had a $421 profit taken on the $25,000 stock account and $168.58 taken on the $10,000 stock account. We're going to get into this recap because this one's interesting if you ask me. So I entered Walmart. We can go back to the entry. I entered it back on, it was in the afternoon, I think 1 p.m. or something like that. Back on, I can go to the executions here so you can see. Back on 10/22, so October 22nd, I enter it just north of $82, and I ended up selling a small piece at $83.60 and then the rest of it at $84.76. So let me talk about why, how. If you did see the live stream from the day after the election morning, we got out of it live on the stream. So let me just recap it and go from there. So I'll start with the time frame. This was on the daily time frame. So we took a daily time frame swing here on Walmart. We get in on the breakout, which was this day right here, October 22nd. It closed up just north of that line, which was a new all-time high, by the way, on Walmart. Not that that necessarily matters for the strategy, a huge amount, but it is a piece to the puzzle, right? It's momentum, right? So you're seeing that volume wasn't insane, but it was upticking a little bit on the breakout days. So, okay, cool, compared to the days prior. Okay, cool, whatever. Not a huge signal there by any means. We knew we had earnings out on November 19th, so I'm like, okay, I got about a month on this trade, which is fine. Daily time frame. If we don't get there in a month, then I'll get out of it. No problem. So we get a little bit of a push in my direction. We get up to 83.35 or so. Day two being in the trade, or like the first, within 24 hours of being in the trade, we're up here. And I'm like, okay, this is looking pretty good. Now, I could have said to myself, I could move my stop loss to break even, which is sometimes what I do. I did not do that in this situation. I did not. Had I done that, I would have gotten stopped out for break even. We have the next day, kind of a slow day, not much, and then we kind of pull back. Now, I used this, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to move my stop loss to break even, because if we do get a pullback, I think that based on the market picture we've been getting, it's been a lot of higher lows, a lot of we're going up, but it's not completely clear momentum-wise. And I think Walmart fit that same bill. We get a day or two of push, then it pulls back, but it builds a higher low. And that's been consistent across a lot of large cap stocks and the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, pretty much across the board for a while now. So I'm like, let's just make sure we give it the ability to do that if it's going to do that. Obviously, if we break underneath the bottom of that breaking candle low, we'll stop out. That invalidates it. That breaks down. That now is not making a higher low. We get out. Simple as that. We just get out. And we take a loss. It never got there. We got within maybe 50 cents of that level. We never got there. And then eventually started to push back up the day before the election. Had a very strong day. This is the day that I took a piece of it off. This is the day that I took off on the 5th. I took off about 15% of the position, which really wasn't that much, but I took off 15% just to lock that in, not knowing that wasn't going to make a massive difference in the grand scheme. But in case we had a massive gap down, we closed up here. Chances of us gapping down underneath here, pretty low. But I was like, it could happen. So in the case of that scenario, I wanted to make sure we don't lose a lot more than I expected to lose in this trade because of the potential overnight gap down risk. So that obviously didn't happen. We gap up, and I end up taking profits well above, actually 75 cents above the original planned take profit point, which was cool. Could have maybe made a few extra bucks off that, but I ended up getting out within the first minute or two of the market open. And it's funny because we end up seeing Walmart sell off most of the day. Actually came down a lot intraday on the Wednesday after the election. Good thing that I just got out. Now, hey, your target hits, you get out, you move on. But crazy little action there. Either way, doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. We blast it through the target. We get to take the take profit and we move on to the next one. So this is an example. I just want to go into here really quick. This is an example right now in the month. We're up almost $200. Nothing crazy, but you can see that we have had 2 losers and 2 winners. Now, the 2 winners are technically one trade. So really it's like one trade. The reason why that there's 2 winners and 2 losers is because the 2 losers, I took one trade on the $25,000 account with 1 of 1. And this one was taken on the $10,000 and the $25,000 account with Arctic Funding, which is a stock prop firm primarily. These numbers all balance out, but either way, you're noticing okay, our average winner so far is 295, average loser of 197. That's pretty good. It's a 1.5. That's pretty good. Nothing crazy. If I roll with a 1.5 average win-loss and a 50% win rate through the rest of the month, which we'll see how the rest of the month goes, I'll be profitable. I won't complain. I'll be happy. We'll take the profits and we'll move on to the next month. That's kind of how I'm viewing it. But in the grand scheme, this trade makes almost $600. So, just so you kind of can see, this trade makes almost $600. And, our losers, we lost 177, we lost 216. We can take some losses. This is kind of how I envision the game to play. We will take those losses. I'll be happy to take them. It is what it is. But if we can keep that win rate near 50%, I don't think it will be there. I think it will be in the 40s or potentially it's been lower the past couple months on average. But if we keep it, if we strive towards, near 50% and we keep our risk management dialed in like this, I think we're going to be in a really good spot. And we just haven't had a lot of winners over the past month or so. So it's been tough to see it. If you're looking at it that way. But I've seen the past 18 months. I have the data. I know the data. I'm curious now to see how things play out post-election. Do we get a follow-through? Do we not get follow-through? Do we see choppy action? What do we see? And so we're not. I don't know. I'm in 2 trades right now on the swing time on bigger picture time frames. We're gonna see how they follow through. If they follow through, and then based off of that, we'll have more data to go and say, hey, maybe we're gonna have a nice little run into end of year. And when I say run, I don't mean that the market has to go up. I just mean where we get better price action for my strategy. You go through periods where you don't have great price action, and you go through periods where you do have great price action for your strategy. I personally don't believe that there's a way around that. Obviously you can get good. There's the subjective nature, there's the discretionary nature of trading that you allow yourself as time goes on to do, to trade the way that you trade. Your strategy can be adjusted little by little. Little pieces can be, you ultimately can come in and say, yeah, there's maybe some setups I can make the argument, but I don't want to trade today because I don't feel it or whatever. And that is totally a valid way to go about it, which is also part of the game too. So how do you measure that? I think over time you just get better at it, but that's the deal. So that's where we're at right now on the month. So we'll see how the month plays out. A couple more trades, at least on right now. And we'll see. If you're looking for TradeZilla and you want a discount code TC10, I'll link it below. If you ever want to sign up for them, they might have a sale coming up soon. I don't know. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.